Sup guys, it's been 25 days, or just over 3 weeks, since I posted MCU Phase 1, which was ranking on July 31st. But finally, we got the long overdue part 2. Every MCU Phase 2 film ranked, from worst to best. And so let's get started. Coming in last place is Thor the Dark World. No, by no means I dislike this film. I think it's a pretty fine film. A lot of people dunk on this movie and say it's the worst MCU film. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I think it was just a fun film. Thor and Jane had great chemistry in this film, which is weird because a lot of people say they don't, but I think they do in this film. I like Thor's journey here. Loki was really good. I think he's better. He's way better here than in the first one. He should have been the villain instead of Malekith. Malekith was a pretty boring, basic villain. But yeah, I think this is a fun film. I think it just drags a little bit at the end. Like when we get to Loki's death, I think they could have just ended it with that. Instead, they dragged it into the final battle. They could have made Loki die in the final battle, and it would have been way better and more emotional too. But I think this is just a fun film. I find it quite entertaining, even though a lot of people don't. In 5th place, I think we've got Captain America the Winter Soldier. So don't get me wrong, this movie is still really good. I think it's a fine film. I just think I like the 4 above it just better. They're just better films. This is a lot more political than your average Marvel movie, which is fine. I'm not a huge fan of political movies, but they're okay. Cap was amazing. Chris Evans was great in this movie. Everyone did great. I like Black Widow as a supporting character. I don't know. She just seems like a really good supporting character to me. And Alexander Pierce was a pretty great villain, if you ask me. I think he posed a great threat, and he was just like the evil president or something. Guess what kind of vibes he gave me. But this is kind of his last solo movie. I know you're gonna yell at me. Civil War is a Captain America movie. It's more to me. I find it more of an Avengers movie. But we're not talking about Civil War. We're talking about Winter Soldier. It's a fine film. I actually like Cap's suit in this movie. I think this is my favorite of him so far. It's still not as great as the first Avenger, like I said, like before, but it's an enjoyable enough film. I don't really care too much about this movie and Thor: The Dark World. I find them just to be enjoyable, passable films. In 4th place, we've got Iron Man. So, I think this is the movie that kicked off Phase 2. After seeing Iron Man 2, I was like done. I was done for this franchise. I'd never seen Iron Man 3. To be honest, I've never seen any of these movies. Phase 2 movies, with the exception of Age of Ultron. So, but yeah, like I said, I had really low expectations for this movie. But I actually enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I thought it was going to be really sucky like the second one. Like, the first one was amazing. The second one was garbage, and I don't know. And I was like, maybe, I hope Iron Man 3 isn't like garbage. But it's like a mid-tier movie. It's a perfectly well-made movie. Good villains. Killian was a great villain. I actually enjoyed him quite a bit. Even though his like villain template is kind of overused, like in Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Electro, but he's a fine villain. The Mandarin twist was pretty funny, actually. I know a lot of people that don't like it, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was fine. I liked the final battle when we got a bunch of Iron Man suits and they all fought Killian, that was a really cool sequence to see. And I just like the idea of Iron Man not having his suits and he has to rely on himself to to, grow and become better. I feel like this would have been a better story for a second movie, not a third movie. I mean, when like in the sequel, I think this hero or the protagonist should struggle a bit, like Spider-Man 2. It should be like that. But this is a perfectly well-made movie. It's not bottom tier like a lot of people say. It's just a fine film. Coming in third place, we've got Avengers Age of Ultron. I surprisingly enjoyed this movie more than the first one. I know a lot of people who don't, but I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I think it was a cool movie. They introduced Wanda and Vision and Quicksilver, which I really wish they didn't kill Quicksilver. I feel like he would have been way better. I feel like he would have had such a cool presence. I feel like he would have been an amazing character in the MCU, but they killed him off way too quickly, which was kind of sad. Well, yeah, I like the party sequence was probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire MCU. It's an amazing scene. Like those 5-something minutes are just so fun to watch. So fun to watch these Avengers act like friends. But I mean, Bruce and Nad's relationship, it was okay. It's not horrible like what people say. I don't like it that much though. So I kind of understand what they're getting the hate from. So that's what I think of Age of Ultron. It's a perfectly fine film. Also, Ultron, he was a very annoying villain. He took like forever to die. They could have killed him. They could have killed him a while back. That's the only thing I have with that movie. The problem with this movie is Ultron. He just drags it too much. And I think Loki's a better villain so far. Our runner-up is Ant-Man. I think this was a pretty fine, good film. Characters were great. Paul Rudd was a great Scott Lang / Ant-Man. I don't think we could have gotten a better Ant-Man than him. I think everyone here was great. Hank Pym was great. The villain was alright. He's kind of like Obadiah Stane, which I don't really like that much, but I think it's kind of fine. I like how small and minuscule the size of this movie is. I think it's cool. The final battle was pretty great, except the giant ant. That creeped me out, like, really bad. I don't know. Can't stop thinking about it. Anyways, it's just a fun film. Not trying to be amazing, but it's not trying to be great either. But coming in first place, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy. I know a lot of people that love this movie, and I do too. I think it's a great movie. It's just full. James Gunn did an amazing job. It's like the Avengers, but like if they didn't get their own solo movies before. It's like, imagine if the MCU just started with the Avengers. And this made us instantly fall in love with each of the characters without giving them their own backstories, which is really great if you ask me. I think this movie is amazing. The villain was not that great. I know he's pretty horrible. Dancing scene was really funny. I enjoyed that a lot. I like the idea of them breaking out of prison. There's a lot going on in this film that I absolutely love. It's just a fun time. I don't even need to explain. There's so much good. I don't want to waste my time here, but that's why it comes in at number 1. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for Mcu Phase 3. It will come. Don't worry. And I will see you guys in the next video.